I was actually just talking to my friend about how if I had to do a job interview, I wouldn't know how to break down my life. So, what have I done? I've done lots of breathing, too much smoking, played with a lot of amazing people, met a bunch of folks, traveled the world. You want me to fucking give you like the record shit, right? Louisville is a slower place. I guess that's why, as you said, there's patient music coming from there. But also, I think as much as Louisville, I was steeped in that scene and that music, I think that New York did it too. Because when I lived there, I played with a lot of different people. I actually learned how to be a real musician there. But I didn't have to go the Brooklyn route of rock. I did more spacious things within that crazy, terrifying place called New York City. Country. Yeah, well, I like country music a lot. In fact, I'm starting my country band this winter. It's called Rodan Paycheck, and looking for submissions. Rodan Paycheck is my country singer alter ego. So we're gonna start that. So yeah, there's country, and then there's also like noise stuff and abstract stuff that I haven't really released, and that's definitely more from New York influence. And my plan is to release a bunch of that stuff next spring somewhere, I don't know where. One can get really wrapped up in ego shit, and that's a trap. And one can really forget themselves if they're like a persona, if they're the singer-songwriter. you no longer are the person you are, you become your name, which is really weird. And so I haven't ever had an interest in that at all. So I guess as a result, I haven't really flexed a persona and used it to my advantage, which I guess is a disadvantage. Yeah, it's all a series of traps. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. There's also something to be said about the woman who writes songs and also sings, instead of focusing on, like, for instance, multi-instrumentalism. There's more of a focus on trying to break down the psychology or the emotional state of the woman, I think, more than with men. And there's something about I guess people want to get close to singer-songwriters, like have this kind of, they understand me, I understand them, I can put my own emotional imprint on their music, right? And I mean, I used to do it when I was a teenager. Joni Mitchell, Prince. So that's a problem, I think. I mean, I understand it's not really a problem, it's just I don't really want to be in that position, and I think it's insane. I'd much rather, in fact, make instrumental music that's faceless. I'd much rather create something that was non-gendered and see how that flew, just as a fun experiment. See if nobody knew what gender I was. I'd be interested to see how people break that shit down. I think it'd be a lot different. And that's interesting and irritating. I'd rather write about, you know, dudes in hats or these pretty lights, which I do. But if the people want a singer-songwriter and I write about the pretty lights, they're not going to be happy. But then again, I'm not sure I want you to be happy. thing to keep in mind is that when Rodan broke up, I was 21. And when Rodan started, I was just 19. And I had other bands that I played with, you know, as a teenage punk rocker in Louisville. Everybody was in bands. So I had 2 other bands at the same time, and then Rodan took off. So like, when we broke up, when we broke up, I had already started Retsin. So it wasn't so much like, I must be free, I must start my own thing. It wasn't that, it was, and it's always kind of been this way, because I've played with lots of people doing lots of other weird things that relate nothing to this solo project or to Rodan, and it really confuses people. So yeah, that was just another stage in my development. I can't wait to see what the next stage is. But yeah, I don't want to be my own boss at all. But I definitely have always made songs that I kind of know what they need to do. And because I kind of can play a lot of instruments, I just kind of do it. But I think it's more about that. Hopefully it's more about that than about me trying to assert some kind of control or whatever over the people playing with me. Hopefully. Singer-songwriters put their fucking faces on their record covers forever, unless it was like some kind of weird looking dude, you know. Then they'd put like a foxy like cocktail lady on the cover, and I thought it would be a fun experiment to do that myself. For my singer-songwriter album. And actually it's really funny because a lot of people, I usually put my art on my record covers and I get a lot of response. People have even bought the records just because they like the cover art, which is cool. But this time people are like, God, your record cover is so beautiful. It's amazing looking. And it's just really funny to watch people's reactions, to kind of manipulate them a little bit. And then watch. I choose people on the records because of how they play things. So different people get onto different songs based on what I want. And live, I mean, live's a whole different thing because the first solo tour I tried to recreate everything that happened on the record, And that was stupid. It's impossible. And I've never really done that in my whole time of making music. And it was hugely weird and kind of disappointing. Yeah, it's really confusing why I did that. It's much more fun live to not try to recreate things. I'm more interested in like living music than Xerox machine distribution of my songs. So yeah, every time I get new people, and like the people playing with me tonight, Danny the drummer, he's not actually in my band. He's just traveling. He's in Mira's band, and I asked him to play, and he's never even heard my songs. But he does a good job. And that's the kind of spontaneous living music I like. Last night we played at Irving Plaza the other night, and my friend Miggy joined us, and we've never rehearsed. And so we played at Irving Plaza unrehearsed, and it was great. It's just more fun. I make records is very project oriented. Like I spend 6 months working on it, and then I finish it, and then I send it off, and that's kind of the moment after it's done being mixed. That's like the completion of the project done. It's just by happenstance that I have to go on tour a lot. But yeah, it's not like, I got a couple tunes, man, let's hit the road. So yeah, for me the records is really the kind of object, and then the shows are an opportunity to experiment with unrehearsed musicians and weird tangents in sets that weren't written on the little set list, and it's always an adventure trying to navigate the way through bad sound or lots of people or no people or being sick. I was sick. I had a sprained ankle, so I couldn't do my boopy boo. So it's just like an adventure game. But yeah, I am tired. It's been 12 years. I've been on tour for 12 years. I'd like to do a residency. I'd like to have a bunch of people come with me to a place for like a month and play 3 times a week in front of other people and see how we change each other. That's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in pop stardom. I'd like to make a ton more money somehow, but it's not going to be by putting my face on record covers, and it's not going to be by giving my persona away, and it's not going to be on tour because I'm old.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, and if there's any benefactors out there, I'm really nice. I work hard.